What's up? This is Trey T, and in this video, I will be discussing how black people are the most disrespected race, not only in America, but in the world. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people out there, black people and non-black people, saying, well, the first thing you need to do if you don't want other people disrespecting you, you shouldn't disrespect yourself by calling each other the N-word. Let me tell you something. Black people can start calling each other kings and queens, prince and princess, God, everything, your highness, your majesty, all that shit. And they will still be disrespected. It don't matter what black people call each other, they will still be disrespected by so many different groups of people. So the notion, oh, well, stop saying the N-word, then people will respect you, that's not true. There was a report a few years ago that said that black women were the most educated group in America. Even with black people being educated, black people still earn nowhere near the same amount of money as educated or uneducated, a lot of educated or uneducated white people. A lot of people will disrespect black people by saying, oh, well, they only got accepted into that college because it was affirmative action. They're just token hires. It was tokenism. What about all the white people that didn't get in because they got their spice taken by some black person? Like, it don't matter how hard some black people work. There are still some people that will say, well, you only got there because you black. It don't matter what you did in life. You only here because you black. And like that's like the ultimate disrespectful thing you can say. That's why a lot of black people say it's not that you have to be good. Black people have to be twice as good just to make it. Black women were supposedly the most educated group of people in America, but black people overall are the most incarcerated race of people in America. Now, I know a lot of people gonna say, well, black people commit the most crime. They're like 13% of the population, but they commit 50% of the crime. And I will say this, a lot of black people do commit crimes, and I'm not excusing. If anybody commit like heinous crimes and stuff, you deserve to be punished for that. But it's a lot of situations you gotta ask yourself, why was the crime even created? Like, some black people have been harassed and targeted, racially profiled by police just standing on the corner talking to their friends. Like, even in New York, where they used to have like the stop and frisk, it was reported that 90% of the people that were stopped were black people and Latino people. So, like, so because I know some people, well, that's because black people commit crime. Again, why is the crime being committed though? Like, how do you solve the crime being committed? Because throwing people in jail is not going to solve anything. Because jail don't make people better citizens. They just make them better criminals. Because once they get out, more than likely, they're going to go back to doing the same thing because it's so hard when you get out of jail going back to your life and being successful because everybody just going to look at you as a criminal. They're not even going to give you a chance. Fix the problems that create crime. Fix the poverty situation. It really started when they introduced drugs and liquor stores in the black communities. That's when all that crime really started. Because you didn't see that in predominantly white neighborhoods. I wonder what would happen if you introduce addictive drugs and alcohol in predominantly white neighborhoods. What would be the result? There have been so many black actors and black musicians that have been snubbed for awards all the time. That's the main reason why black people had to create their own award shows, just so they could recognize black talent. Like, a lot of times, even like the Grammys, they don't nominate certain music. For a long time, they didn't think rap was a good source of music, so they didn't use rap categories. So that's why like black rappers like in the 80s and stuff were boycotting the Grammys because they didn't recognize rap as a good genre of music. And then with movies, predominantly black movies rarely ever get nominated. The only movies that get nominated are like slave movies. And again, that's why, because the world likes seeing black people in that role. They like seeing black people as slaves. They like seeing black people as servants and stuff. They like, if anybody has ever seen Boomerang from 1992, Eddie Murphy's Boomerang, it's about Eddie Murphy was an executive, like he was a real estate agent, not a real estate, he was a marketing executive. And in the movie, all of his workers and stuff were black. And there was a reporter in the LA Times that did a review of the movie, and he said that Boomerang painted a fictional world where white people don't exist. He was basically saying, because this Eddie Murphy talked about this on Jay Leno's show, and Jay Leno was like, well, people aren't used to seeing black people in those roles. So that's what it is. They're not used to seeing black people in business and all that. And then Eddie Murphy used that example. He was like, if it's something that got something to do with business, you'd think like, where are the white people? Who's running that office? But then he used the example of Boys in the Hood. He said nobody had anything negative to say about that because it dealt with a violence theme. But when it came to dealing with normal stuff, a business, running a business, all that, the man was like, where are the white people? Who's running that office? That is the main reason why black people had to create stuff like the BET Awards, the Hip Hop Awards, the Soul Train Awards, stuff like that. Now we can even go into sports. Black athletes get disrespected all the time, especially in sports that are outside of football and basketball. Like soccer, the French team, when they lost, like it was so many negative comments on Twitter about the black people that are on the French team. Like even in this picture right here, you see somebody with the French flag, with the Peter Parker Spider-Man meme, looking at the trophy, and it taking off the glasses and thinking it's a piece of chicken rather than a trophy. Then you had this black rugby player where they were though his teammate gave him a rotten banana for like Secret Santa or something like that. And then you got people making monkey noises and stuff in like hockey and soccer and throwing bananas at the players. And that just shows you, it don't matter where it is in the world, black people are disrespected. Black people always get labeled as ghetto and thugs or sluts. They only get praise for their athleticism or being able to sing or dance. Like, I have never really heard some white person being called ghetto or a Hispanic person being called ghetto. Like, I don't hear a lot of white people being called thugs. Now, slut, that's universal. I'll give you that. Slut is universal. But black people are never credited for intelligence. Take this man right here, Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh was a congressman for Illinois. This man went on Twitter and on CNN basically defending what he said on Twitter by saying America really lowered the bar when it came to Obama when they elected him president. He only became president because he was black. Like, this man said that on Twitter and went on CNN in a debate with Angela Rye trying to defend himself for saying that. That just shows you the respect that people have for black people. Now, it don't matter if you like Barack Obama or not. You cannot say that Obama didn't pay his dues when he was a senator and all that. You can't just say, oh, he only got elected president because he was black. Because if that's the case, how come Jesse Jackson wasn't elected president when he ran in like the 80s? He was black. So that just shows like the disrespect, man. It don't matter. Like, that's the president. That's the highest honor in the land. And the disrespect to go at the person who's the chief, like the top person. That's crazy to me. These two men right here, Jimmy the Greek and Al Campanis. Jimmy the Greek once said, if they take over coaching like everyone wants them to, there's not going to be anything left for the white people. Like, he basically said blacks run everything in sports already. If they take over the coaching jobs, it's not going to be anything left for the white people to do. And Al Campanis once said, black people are outstanding athletes, but they may not have the desire to be in the front office. This was when, because he played with Jackie Robinson, and Ted Koppel was interviewing him, and Jackie Robinson's, I don't think that was his lawyer, but that was like somebody who helped him along the way. And he was asking basically how come there's not any black general manager baseball, or how many black managers, general managers, owners. That's what Ted Koppel was asking, and Campanis was basically saying, well, black people don't want those jobs. They only want to be scouts. They don't want to be managers and owners and stuff like that. People even get disrespectful to black people online gaming. Like, if it's like, because I already know what's going to happen after this video. It's going to be people in the comments section talking about oh, you're just a victim. Stop playing a victim. There's no white privilege, blah, 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 blah. You're just trying to be a victim and all that. Dude, we have access to the internet. You can look this shit up for yourself. Go on YouTube or go on Google, go on Yahoo, go on Bing, any kind of search, any search you want to, and type in racism while gaming. Like, it seems like in a lot of situations, that is some people go-to move to be racist when they online gaming with people, whether they playing Madden, Call of Duty, some racing game. How many times have you heard some white person use the N-word online gaming? You know how many white people have lost their YouTube channels or famous race car driver for saying the N-word? He ended up getting dropped or something like that. That a lot of YouTube people lost their channels for being racist or misogynistic while online gaming. I don't know why when it's involving black people, that's your go-to move. You losing, that's your go-to move to call somebody the N-word? To say, like, I just saw one today, they were playing Madden, and the black dude scored a touchdown on him, and it was only 7-0. This is just the beginning of the game, 7-0. And then the dude was like, that's all you know how to do, because that's what everybody does. And then the black dude was like, well, if everybody does it, how come you couldn't stop it? And then the dude was like, why don't you speak English? I don't speak Ebonics, Blackie. Oh, you just shut up, Blackie. Play the game, Blackie. Shut up and speak English. What did you say? I can hear you. I don't speak Ebonics. Like, that just shows you the level of disrespect. Even like online gaming. It was one video where it was some black woman playing, I think she was playing like Call of Duty or something. And somebody says, like, again, for all the people who are going to comment, oh, you're just trying to be a victim and blah, 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 victimhood, blah, blah, blah. You can look these videos and stuff up for yourself on YouTube. Type in racist gamers or racist online gaming. I'm pretty sure it'll come up. Like, but to sum up this video, this is what I don't understand. This is what I have a hard time understanding. This, to me, is the weirdest thing. People will imitate black people. They'll imitate black people's style. They'll imitate black people's hair, the way black people sing, the way they rap, their music, the way they dance. They'll do all that shit and then go right back to disrespecting black people and talking down on black people. I don't understand that shit. That's why a lot of black people say, well, they want the rhythm without the blues. Everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. You want the like, being black for some reason is considered cool. It's cool to be black. But then on the other stuff, when it comes to like dealing with the police and people hating you and stuff, you don't want to deal with that part of it. You just want the cool factor of it. Like black people can be like on some real stuff. Like black people can really just become friends with anybody. Like a new person can come to a school and black people will come right up to them, hey man, where you from? Blah 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 blah. No matter if that's a white person, a black person, Hispanic person, Asian person. Like Jewish person, like it don't matter who that person is. Black people just, hey man, what's up? Where you from? Or where that's it. Like black people will do that. A lot of people don't even approach black people because they're afraid of black people. I don't understand. Like you afraid of black people, but you have no problem disrespecting black people. Like that doesn't make sense. That don't make sense to me. And again, I know what's gonna happen at the end of this video. People are going to say, oh, man, you just whiny little baby. You making up stuff. Black people disrespect themselves all the time, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, all the people that say that, I bet none of them would trade places with the average black person. Not no rich black person. Oh, yeah, I'll trade places. Like, no, I don't want to hear you trade places with Michael Jordan or Oprah or Jay-Z and nothing like that. Say you would trade places with the average black person and live your life as a black person. How many people would say that? So all the people that's going to comment negatively, how many of you would switch your life with the average black person? But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Like and comment. More videos coming soon. Trey T out. Peace.